This is Selkirk, my hometown, and I love it here.
All right, 3, 2, 1.
And these are my friends and neighbors, and they're pretty awesome too. And this is Manitoba Avenue. Now, it used to be our main street, and that was the heart of our old downtown. But it hasn't sparkled like this for a really long time.
Oh, yeah!
But tonight, we're celebrating. Manitoba Avenue is like a lot of main streets in smaller towns across the prairies. Businesses often come and go, mostly go. And the street has lost a bit of its luster over the years. So, last winter, my friends and neighbors decided it was time our old downtown got its shine back.
Great, I'm glad to see you here. Thanks for coming.
I'm here tonight from the Mighty Kiwi Juice Bar and Eatery, and I was invited to talk about the Holiday Alley. And I know the town is looking to uplift that area.
They might.
I always love the idea of bringing people back to the history of Selkirk and really sprucing up Manitoba Avenue.
So, welcome. This is the beginning conversation for Holiday Alley. The challenge that some folks have right now is there's 150,000 ideas about what could happen for Holiday Alley, right? I'm Shirley Muir, and by day I'm a communications consultant. We moved to Selkirk about 22 years ago, and we wanted to kind of get more engaged with our community and get to know people. And we've certainly found that when you volunteer, you get to know even your next door neighbor way better. One of the things I was involved in this community was the creation of something called Homes for the Holidays.
Had you noticed that?
Property owners and people who manage heritage sites would uber decorate their properties for Christmas, invite tourists and people from all over the place to come visit. One year, Homes for the Holidays had 2 stops in Old Selkirk downtown, a beautiful old Gwen Fox gallery and the 1950s Riverside Grill. But in between those 2 stops was darkness, nothing. So the group said, imagine if we could take all of our experience decorating homes and bring that to the downtown and help all that downtown kind of come to life. So if Holiday Alley is about art, sound, light, and creativity, it'll succeed and be amazing if what happens?
One of our ideas was a holiday family music night.
Bringing all of the restaurants from our community to do a chili cook-off kind of competition.
Money from that event could go to a charity. So years and years ago, this area of Manitoba Avenue was very vibrant. Then it started to go downhill. You had all the big stores opened up and on the other end of Manitoba Avenue. And because of that, you lost all the small little shops that are down here.
And I think we should have lots for kids, because kids bring parents who spend money.
Santa Claus pictures. Who wouldn't want to see Santa and their kid 30 feet tall on some building?
My name is Marlena Muir. For those of you who don't know, I'm on the Artisan and Crafters Committee.
I was really excited to see that the focus of Holiday Alley was going to be about art and creativity. It's just because oftentimes when people think of Selkirk, they think of Selkirk as kind of oriented around sports.
We've been throwing around the idea of having Manitoba Avenue here decorated and having different artisans down in front of each shop. Like, how amazing would that be?
I do a lot of volunteering because my mom and my dad, and they have always said, help your community be the place you want it to be. I work full-time in a local business.
That would be kind of pretty with that.
And I also volunteer with Red River North Tourism. I'm passionate about my Indigenous heritage. And I am a forever resident of Selkirk, born and raised here. Growing up in Selkirk, you know, it's funny, oftentimes Selkirk gets a little bit of a rough and tumble sort of reputation, although I can't really deny it. But it is a wonderful place to be and has a lot of potential.
And I was thinking something that would attract teenagers if we were to put it on social media like Instagram, Twitter.
To attract people that are within a 30 to 45 minute drive.
That the businesses on the street have an economic bump. I really like these ice fishing shacks, which I think is a really good idea.
I was thinking, you know how they did those polar bears in the city and they all painted them individually? We could do something like that.
In the meantime, we have to figure out now how to get those businesses that are down there, some of them in the room tonight, engaged and involved, whether they're nonprofits or whether they're privately owned.
Our holiday sweater contest.
I think a lot of the ideas are great and will bring a lot of people out, get a lot of the businesses' sales boosted as well for the rest of the year.
Lights on buildings, lights everywhere.
There's a lot of amazing visionaries that really care for this city and for the community, and I really want to be part of that.
I think for the life of a city, the downtown revitalization is super important. Not only to bring people outside of Selkirk, but it was also important to bring in local people. Because I know a handful of people who have lived in Selkirk all their life and they've never walked down that portion of downtown Manitoba Avenue.
Hey, good to see you. It's good to see you too. Hi,
So,
Joyce.
one Sunday a few weeks later, we invited shopkeepers on Manitoba Avenue to open their doors and meet us.
Well, thank you everybody for coming out. We're going to be doing our walk up and down the street, checking out the alleys, checking out the businesses. The Cheeky Leaf appears to be open. And with Holiday Alley, we've got people coming in just to take a look at the shop. Has anybody been in here before?
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, come on in, absolutely. There's lots of space. There's opportunity here to have crafters, some art, we can put tables out. There's some opportunity here for everybody.
Welcome to the Gwen Fox Gallery.
So this is going to be a pretty awesome space. Everybody's looking forward to it.
Only half the merchants on Manitoba Avenue decided to open for us that day,
I think we're ready to go to the merchant.
but we were hopeful those who did might support our mission.
You know, we got about $50,000 worth of sound system up there and lights, and you know, our stage is world class.
What do you think we could do in here for Holiday Alley?
You know, we could look at a lot of Métis entertainers.
After 2 hours on the street, we got caught up on volunteer committee business.
So these are the lights. They call them raspberry lights. We're going to be taking a look at installation. How do we install? Who installs?
We want this to be a spectacular craft show because I don't want it to be all scattered and hokey pokey around the place.
I like the hokey pokey term. I'm writing that down.
Our problem is waiting on public health. You can serve anywhere, it's just keeping it to the right temperature. And
I reviewed some designs so that we can get a product list, and then we can take that product list to different people and ask for donation.
We're looking at, you know, it's a $100,000 project to do all the things that you want to do. So we have to find some money to do that because your number one most important thing was light the street. So every day we're at our computers, I'm at my desk trying to figure out where's a grant, where's a funder, where's a corporate sponsor, where are we going to get cash for some of this stuff. The beautiful thing about this project is everyone's charging ahead, doing their dream, imagining their piece and owning it.
Okay, move along, okay.
Funding did begin to trickle in. Selkirk's winter turned to spring, and one of Holiday Alley's star projects began to take shape.
Today I'm making ice shacks for the Holiday Alley.
Here we go. Look at this. This is our shape. It looks bigger than I thought, eh? These kids, they volunteer to build these ice shacks for Holiday Alley Art on Ice as their school project.
Because we got to make sure everything lines up.
It means I get my math credit, but it also means I get to help out our community, which is awesome.
Once they're built, each one is going to be painted by a local artist. And then they're going to be auctioned off, proceeds going to local charities.
So that's good. Okay, so now we see how our pieces are going. So,
oh, this is great. There we go. They're in trouble now, those fish.
You guys have done one shack already, is that correct?
These kids are getting tons out of this project. They get to come here and it really gives them a sense of purpose of, yeah, hey, I'm doing something and what I'm doing matters.
Shirley said that she was painting it like a catfish, and so I really hope to see what it actually looks like in the end.
And later that afternoon,
oh, and the boys, hello.
Brenda gave the crew a preview of her project.
Here's my plan. So that's the catfish with that same body up on top.
The shack's fantastic. Brenda's done a fantastic job.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. I like it. It's looking good so far. It's a good idea and it's all for a good cause.
It's uplifting seeing everybody involved and seeing the people that contribute the materials and these kids with their time and the gentleman teaching the kids. I mean, it's just beautiful. You kids want to see inside? It's the way it's supposed to be in a community, right?
You just try to like do whatever you can, help others, help communities, and help this community. Like, I like this community here.
You know, I can hardly wait till, you know, come December when we go down there on the 2nd and see them set up, right?
Again, on Manitoba.
While the boys gained their math credits, I got a history lesson on our old downtown.
This is Eveline, and this was our first main street and one of the most popular streets for businesses in the town of Selkirk. It's located right behind our old waterfront. And down there was a beehive of activity for almost 100 years.
When did Manitoba Avenue become the main hub of our downtown?
All the retail space on Eveline was full. So people started building their little businesses along Manitoba Avenue, moving towards the west. And the big event happened around 1900 when the provincial government actually drained the St. Andrews bog. It filled up the area between Selkirk and Stonewall. All of a sudden, farmers could move into that area and take up the land. And those people needed retail services. And that's where Manitoba Avenue really took off. Let's go and take a look, okay?
Okay.
All right.
So Rob, here we are at the Merch. Tell me a little bit of the history of this place.
Oh, it's got a checkered past. This hotel isn't the original. The original was built by a man who went on to become the Lieutenant Governor of Manitoba, John Christian Schultz. He was a scoundrel. He built the first Merch Hotel right here, and it was made out of logs and wood and anything he could probably steal. He wanted to capitalize on the fact that our docks were full of sailors, fishermen, oxen drivers. It was a pretty rough place. He decided the best way to make money out of this was to sell them booze. And so booze has been a part of Selkirk's history right from the very beginning. So he built the first hotel in 1877, and he did fairly well on it. Now, Schultz bought land on spec, and he came to acquire all these streets right here where we are at the center of Selkirk today, and sell the lots to all the merchants that bought here. And then he sold out the town because he owned more land in Point Douglas in Winnipeg. So he gave half that land to the CPR, and suddenly, about a mile from here, on that side of the river, as the track was just ready to build the bridge to come across the river, the tracks of the CPR railway turn south and go right to Winnipeg. And that was the end of Selkirk's dream of becoming the capital city of Manitoba. So this Merch Hotel was built in 1904, and it kind of matches the building opposite. This is the Traders Bank, which was a national company at the time. And Dominion Bank had taken over the Traders Bank in 1904 before the bank could even open. And that was taken as a vote of confidence by the Eastern economists that Selkirk was going to be something big. So the Traders Bank building and the Merch Hotel became kind of like the pillars of a gateway to opportunity. And so merchants started locating on Manitoba and moving away from the old style buildings that were now looking a little faded or dated. We're on Eveline. But it was still an iffy thing whether you could make a living on Manitoba Avenue. And so the risk takers put an extra layer on their buildings to make them look a little more impressive, a little more permanent. And those are the famous boomtown fronts that we see in Selkirk today. People trying with optimism to say, we're going to be big stuff someday, and at the same time, not quite having the money to complete the second story. In 1907, there was a huge debate in town, where are we going to put the federal post office? And all the merchants were in an uproar. They wanted it on Eveline to reassert the power of the economy of Selkirk along Eveline. And somehow, some of the merchants here had more influence and maybe voted the right way because it ended up at this end of Manitoba Avenue. But the federal government, by building this post office here, confirmed that Selkirk was the place to be in the region. Now, it is the Gwen Fox Art Gallery, and it's the center for the Selkirk and District Arts community. And I think the post office has become one of the cultural gems of Selkirk. And certainly it's a nice high point at the end of Manitoba Avenue.
Do you think it's important to preserve the downtown?
Oh, I do, Marlena. It's one of the great things is to walk along a street that has a history, a story to tell. And it's the story of the development of Selkirk. It means something to the citizens and to the town itself. It gives us an identity.
And other folks on the street feel that way too.
Riverside Grill decided to head up the Heat the Streets Chili Cook-Off for Holiday Alley as a way to engage community in the event, and as a way, as a business, we could help bring something that we know about to Holiday Alley. Hey Kayla, how's the prep going?
Doing really well. Hey Kayla? Yeah, very good.
The staff of the grill and the staff of Community Living Selkirk are competing for the best flavored chili for the Chili Cook-Off. Good luck.
Thank you.
Community Living Selkirk supports adults with disabilities
chilies that we have today, A, B, and C.
to live, work, and experience community.
We're gonna cut up some onions. Now this recipe.
The grill operates as a training facility, having people truly live the experience of working in a restaurant.
These are very strong onions. Yeah.
We bought this location for a couple of reasons. Riverside Grill is an established place in our community. But we also feel that the more local people that invest in this downtown, then the more people we bring to it.
Oh, God.
Today, the crew at Community Living Selkirk and me get to vote on 3 recipes.
Thank you. Okay, so now I was talking about a chili that has a little bit of sweet to it.
The winner will be their entry for the Heat the Street Chili Cook-Off during Holiday Alley.
Tastes like pizzas.
We've got a great response from community. They're happy to be engaged.
When you like this?
What are they called? 3 of them.
People are so excited to be able to come out and share.
So guys, just guessing from how much you've eaten, which one is your favorite?
All good.
Done.
Thank you so much.
When I look at success for Holiday Alley, for us as a diner and for our store, I see people coming in, finding out about who we are, what we do, learning about downtown, and experiencing it all over again because people have forgot how good we are down here.
A.
A.
Yeah, A.
I liked all 3.
And the winner with 6 out of 11 votes is A.
The Riverside Grill had their A game ready, but did the rest of us?
Tonight we are 100 days away from Holiday Alley rolling out.
That's going to be in the building.
Yeah, and we just want to see where everybody's at.
But we do need a Santa.
No, Irene's got a Santa lined up too. A live one. A live Santa.
I think we've got the merchant on board and we're going to help them with their decorating.
We want to do the hot chocolate, beer and scotch tasting.
We haven't met our quota yet for artisans and crafters, so everybody has 2 application forms that were on their chairs.
It's definitely about community. It's all about local economy and spotlighting Selkirk for all that it has to offer and all that it can offer in the future.
And we figure we need at least 10 different companies to jump on board to the Chili Cook-Offs.
This is this idea of putting lights on all the buildings of the street. So the good news is we've got a grant from the Selkirk and District Community Foundation for $15,000. The Selkirk Foundation and the Community Foundations of Canada love the idea about lighting our old downtown, gave us a little bit of seed money. So we could go to every business up and down that street and say to the property owner, would you also help buy lights for your building? And it was amazing the number of people that said yes really quickly, especially the nonprofit organizations came on board immediately. They understood that it was about revitalizing that downtown. So it's about helping bring some more light and energy to the downtown. So some folks get that immediately. Other folks need a little bit more time to think about it. But what's thrown us kind of off our game a little bit are some of the comments from the private sector, the small businesses, who have said, what's in it for me? And have said, who's making money off of this? You know, and our reply back was, yeah, well, if we do this all the way we plan to do it, you should make money.
We will need help. Everyone should try not to be disappointed when there's some pushback on the ideas. I can refer back to the Big Blue Bridge Bash. It was a similar event. It was the whole street and involved about 4,000 people plus. I had one customer who closed his door. My question was, how many days have you had since you opened that you had 4,000 people walk in front of your door? And your door was closed.
I think that this is the kick in the pants that downtown revitalization really needs.
This is all about bringing the community together, bringing people from outside of the community together at Selkirk to see how amazing this city is.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how much of this is a go? Are we like a...
Oh, it's 100%.
I think we're probably a 7.
Yeah.
I would say the merchant would be an 8.
I mean, we will light the street. I'm kind of feeling like it's a 7.5 on 10.
Are we ready? I think so. I think we will be, at least. I hope so. Yeah.
We're probably about halfway towards our budget goal, but we've got enough support that I think we're just going to charge forward, right? And hope at the end we got everything that we need.
So, one of our decorating teams hits the street.
Let's go this way.
Their job is to take tiny alleyways and fill them with something.
It's the hottest day of the year, and we walked up and down Manitoba Avenue and we looked into all the alleyways.
Oh, this is quite a big area here.
Seeing what we could do, what we could put in there to make people want to be there. We could have like a kids area.
We'll just fill this with ice candles, and then we can have the snowmen.
So if people from out of town came, they might actually see what a good community we are, what a good place this is to live.
We could set up bales of hay like a couch.
And for the people who already live here, it might just kind of strengthen what they think of this like town and city and the people in it and everything.
I like this alleyway. What?
Here's this
Oh,
idea.
yeah.
This was actually a wall of chalk, and the question is, what do you love about your community?
One of my favorite ideas by far was the chalk on the wall and writing down like hopes and dreams.
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
5 aisleways decorated on no budget.
On $10.
On $10.
As summer wound down, Manitoba Avenue was a bit worse for wear. Councillor Ken Bierman leads Selkirk's downtown renewal strategy. Tell me what happened here.
Well, last summer, unfortunately, one of our buildings on Manitoba Avenue East had a fire, which has destroyed the building. It's now completely abandoned, and it unfortunately needs to come down.
Tell me why you think this sort of thing happens here.
It's not an uncommon event to occur in a community's downtown core, but it hasn't been paid attention to close enough. The front commercial side of this building has not been occupied for about 5 or 6 years now. The ability to attract future businesses to this street had become difficult. The vacancy rates, it's a one-way street. There's been a decline in activity on the street. We have a great movie theater. The restaurants, when they're open, it's great. But when businesses close at night, really the sidewalks roll up down here. And other forms of entertainment start to develop. This particular area in our downtown needs to be refurbished. It's lost its heartbeat. It's lost that attraction that comes with a strong, vibrant downtown, and we need to bring that back. We have fabulous cornerstone buildings here. We want to use that atmosphere and build upon that. We have conceptual drawings that the community contributed to and bought into, and because of that, we've already started to see private redevelopment on the street. Okay, ladies, here's what the street is most likely going to look like. What do you think?
The reason why we chose to do business on Manitoba Avenue is because the city's plan to revitalize the area was really attractive to us as business owners.
This just isn't city planning and city staff or a council. This takes the whole community.
The challenge with downtown revitalization is that nobody really knows what that is. So we wanted to take people from downtown revitalization that's about putting up lampposts and moving curbs to something that was something more you could touch and feel and smell and it was more about hugs and laughter.
Today we got together and we brought most of our supplies. It's September and we have a good start. We have a tree coming in, Ryan.
A Christmas tree?
Yeah, we need your help.
Is there more?
Nope, this is it.
A real tree. Holy cow, this is big.
We'll have several weeks of getting together and crafting and painting.
It's the beginning of our snowman family.
Where are you putting this tree?
It'll be in the alleyway. We have to decorate the bigger trees downstairs.
Does that fit? Is that the...
And then take apart to decorate outside. That would be our challenge.
It's too big.
But we don't want to have anything too much. I have been a lifelong resident of this area. We'll see. And I would love nothing better to see Manitoba Avenue East come to life again. It's nice with the bright
Perhaps because Selkirk has a reputation of being not the city that it should be recognized for. It's maybe not community orientated so much as it could be.
This is perfect. And then turn it over. So with Holiday Alley, it's opening up to all the residents to be able to come in and join. And this just shows them there's other things going on. One candy made. Everybody here is so enthusiastic, and enthusiasm breeds enthusiasm. Yes.
Hi, ladies. Look what I brought for you.
Beautiful. So we'll lay all this out, ladies.
In terms of the project that you're working on, how are you doing so far? How is it coming along, sort of a thing?
Well, I think we've got it all planned.
Yep. Nearly done? Really? Wow. That's awesome. Okay, I was gonna say, oh, is that ever cute? Okay, yeah. Meanwhile, out on the street, it is on for our junior Holiday Alley volunteers.
Teenagers said we want to put up a chalkboard wall. Let me tell you, we were down there buying them paint and they were doing that.
Please hold on. Hello, ladies. What are you doing?
We're painting the chalkboard wall for Holiday Alley.
What is something that you hope to see with the chalkboard?
The questions we want to ask on the chalkboard are ones that have to do with community and our community and what we want to see in the future for our community.
Looking good so far, though, girls. That's awesome.
Thank you.
Is there anything else that you come to the downtown strip for? Like,
my mom and I both love thrift shopping.
I don't really. I come to the library and school, and that's about all I do in Selkirk.
So why do you think that is that you haven't really explored this kind of area yet?
Last time I was here, I got my bike stolen, so.
Oh. Sad to say, that did not surprise me. You know, I can understand why she wouldn't want to come down there because something like that happened. Could have been a lot worse than just her bike getting stolen.
We were down there trying to figure stuff out, measuring the street for Holiday Alley early on, and we would come around a corner and we would see a drug deal going on.
Hold me. I'm holding it.
What we also know is the more traffic you bring to dark corners, and the more light you bring to dark corners, the more of that stuff starts to move away.
By November, the first signs of the festival began to appear on the street.
Okay. Today we had made some decorations. We want to see what they would look like and how we can complement what the merch already has. 8 months ago when we did our first walk on the streets, and the merchant was open that day, and we met Dean and Chad. I think we kind of surprised them.
So tell us a little bit about this space.
We are actually the longest existing liquor license in Manitoba, so we're like the oldest beverage room. They're very motivated and can be a little intense at times, but it's their passion to do what they're doing. I think not just us, but other people, it's a little overwhelming.
I think we were here at least 5 or 6 times to come in and talk to Dean and Chad.
All that being said, I think that builds for an opportunity.
And we said we are really into having the Métis music being a featured part of Holiday Alley.
I mean, there's a lot we can do. We were all putting our heads together trying to figure out like who's going to pay for all this stuff, right? Like, let's be realistic, you know. And then when some of the sponsors started stepping up, and now you see it taking shape.
Maybe 5, and we're going to put them on that side.
And you realize, you know, there was a reason there's that much planning because there was a lot going on those 2 days. So, you know, it started to grow on us, and then I think we started to see the vision of what they wanted to do as well.
Like a chain or something like this. And
Keith will help you guys with whatever you need. So just let me know what day you need him, and I'll make sure he's here. I'm
That's
okay.
good.
Anything you guys want, you do. Okay. I'm happy. Very cool to see it unfold here in the beginning of December.
So, I thought it would be pretty cool to see what other downtown shop owners felt about our vision.
There you go.
Kelly Lewis is my boss. Her clothing store on Manitoba Avenue has been in the family for over 40 years.
Back in 1976, when we first bought this business, Manitoba Avenue between Main and Eveline was vibrant. There were 3 dress shops down there, the McLeod store, a Robinson store, the Big Four store. There was 2 jewelry stores. It was a vibrant little community, and that's where everybody in town did their shopping. Well, what started to happen in the 80s basically was a lot of those merchants, they were independents. They were getting, older and they wanted to retire. And it eventually became one empty building after another. You often didn't feel safe going down there. And then into the late 90s, there was development on the west side of Selkirk, and there wasn't the concern about Manitoba Avenue between Main and Eveline. This is a unique part of our city, and we need to embrace it, support those businesses down there, and I think it's one of the first steps to the revitalization of downtown Selkirk.
And then we're gonna drop off some brochures and posters. Look at what I got!
They're so nice.
I know, they look really good. Yeah. How's this been going?
We've got our plan ready. Decorations will start going up on Sunday. Yeah.
Hi, Irene. We've got some posters.
Thank you.
Yes, you're very welcome. We're gonna go to the spa first, and then we'll go to the Fat Panda. Okay. Some of the business owners who just couldn't be involved, that's okay. It's a loss in a way, because just because you're in the community and you're selling doesn't mean you're a part of the community if you're not giving back in a way. So, so it's just got kind of a little bit here, and
I have a couple of brochures.
It is getting very, very close, so excited and a little bit nervous, but...
Okay. So today we're prepping the lights to put on the buildings. I'm glad they're here now. That kind of anxiety is gone.
Excited to see out there. They might be here till midnight. I don't know how long that's going to take.
They can stay as long as they want.
Oh, thanks.
Oh, absolutely.
So we're setting them up, putting them on spools, so that way they're easier to kind of string up and down.
Not only is the whole city excited, but administration, council, everybody.
Was it challenging to get people to help out with this, or was it just
Absolutely not. We put the call out and said, we'll need a lot of volunteers. There'll be coffee and some donuts. Could you please give us an hour? Look at the result.
Got lots of little worker elves.
I got it.
Perfect. We got community living.
Grab this one.
We've got the students that were involved with the ice shacks and resource teacher Mr. Bukich.
Another good cause for Holiday Alley.
Kind of a thing.
I think it's pretty cool.
We've got some of our Holiday Alley volunteers. Yes. The hard-working City of Selkirk folk, they're helping out too.
Let's see if this actually works. Okay.
Voila!
Oh, it's so pretty. After all the meetings and things like that, it definitely makes it feel a lot more real that the lights are here and people are getting more excited. It's just really nice to see the community come together for this. It's very cool.
We haven't reached our goal down there. We really were hoping we get all the buildings done.
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
But you know what? This is a start. I think once we do a few years of this, we won't just get all the buildings on Manitoba Avenue. We may get the whole town.
Kaylee, this is kind of what we're doing as part of Holiday Alley. Kaylee Brown has been hired to help get the streets shine back too. She's done makeovers on downtowns like ours, all across Canada.
So one of the best parts about my job is helping people fall back in love with their downtowns. We want people to gather in these spaces and to remember that downtowns were originally the heart of the community. They were businesses owned by community members, and we need to continue to support them. You know, what we're looking at doing is extending the pedestrian realm on this street, which is very exciting. At the Mighty Kiwi, for example, if we extended the sidewalk, imagine what it would be like having people come out and sit and enjoy their food at little small cafe tables, and then you see your friend walking down the street, and it just provides a greater sense of community, and I think it just brings people closer together. We want places where people are happy to spend their time, spend their money for economic development, and just overall create a really nice place to live and make it look much more exciting.
Okay.
It's not a coincidence that when big box stores open up on the fringes of a community, that it actually in turn starts to kill the downtown. This has happened in almost every downtown in North America in the last 40 years. For us, as planners and designers, Holiday Alley is tactical urbanism at its finest. We get to test out these ideas on the street in a temporary setting, showing people what can happen, but then encouraging them to look at their city in a new way. It's gonna look amazing.
I'm really excited, like genuinely excited for the lights.
Our work on its own isn't going to turn this around, and Holiday Alley on its own is not going to turn this around. But all of these ideas coming together and showing people what the potential and possibilities are for downtown is what's going to make this turn around.
Yes.
So it depends on how badly we want to change.
Today is the first day of the Holiday Alley. We're really looking forward to it. It's all coming together. It's crunch time. All the groups, they've been out here early in the morning now setting up. Everything starts like at 5 o'clock tonight. We're hoping to have a lot of people.
Looks awesome. Kind of anxious, excited, because there's still things that have to be tweaked, lights to be hooked up.
Yeah, that looks good.
It's just, will it all work the way I see it work?
So if you start measuring,
feeling the pressure, because so many things have got to get done to make the event come off in my head the way I envision it.
We're pretty nervous. We're not really sure what to expect, so we're not really sure how to prepare, but we're really excited still, so.
The exciting thing about Friday, we're just about to launch, and Joy and I, who are running communications, are still in my kitchen. We had no idea how things were going down there.
What do you want? I don't know, what does the website say? 4 hours to go. Someone had this crazy idea to put a countdown calendar on our website, which is really actually isn't helping with the stress level. There it is, 4 hours, 6 minutes and 49 seconds. So yeah, it's actually not enough time. But it's going. So we need to get out of here soon because we still have printing to pick up, and people need their badges, and there's programs that need to get on the street, and like we'll be there 10 to 6.
You think so? I think I should be there a little bit early.
We should be there before that?
Yeah. I just wanted to make sure that the main stage was actually going up.
Erected? That's
Yeah.
a good point. When you were down there, did you guys see a stage going up?
No.
No stage.
No, not yet.
The stage isn't up yet?
No.
Well, the stage
isn't up yet.
At 3.
The stage isn't up yet. One more sign to put in place.
So we were down there Friday at 5 o'clock. The stage was still not up. The audio technician is a little upset because he's trying to get his equipment ready. And we just said, you know what? This whole thing is a giant experiment. If things aren't perfect, we're all right with them. But all the way up and down the street, activity was starting to happen. And at 6 o'clock, relatively quiet.
Hey, it's pretty good. Great, thank you. There you go. We're going to come in and see if anybody's
We're in
in
the
here.
communications business.
I got a program for you.
So we had uber communicated. But I know enough about communications that know you can spend a small fortune on communications and people still don't hear the message.
I wonder if we should pop some of these into people's windows when they're driving by. Maybe I should do that.
If you're driving by, you might get hit.
Then I might get hit.
So the question I chose is, what's your favorite holiday memory? Over the last year, working on Holiday Alley has been amazing. I've met so many new people and I've learned how close-knit our community is and how much we actually care for each other. I would never have imagined a year ago that it would actually happen and it would be this big and that I would be such a big part of it.
Good job. When 6 o'clock came, that was it. Like, I was anxious but excited, trying not to freak out. I wasn't sure what I was going to find.
Oh, that's a wonderful.
3, 2, 1, funny face. There we go. That's great.
That was so cool.
My back was kind of to the crowds. And it wasn't until 7:25 when I got up on the stage to turn the lights on with the mayor.
Welcome everybody to Holiday Alley!
That I looked down the street. I thought, oh my God. They came. I think there were 3,000 people there.
I think we're very, very close. Anybody got a time? The view this way, it ain't as good as the view the other way. So I suggest you turn around.
Oh my God.
My dad just gave me a big hug, and it was just knowing that hard work that the team had pulled off. They had created this amazing, awesome, joyous event for people to come down and see. It was a piece of everybody, and I could see that.
Merry Christmas! Welcome to Selkirk.
So this is the morning after. Last night, a spectacular turnout. I heard people say, this is what we used to do down here on Manitoba Avenue.
When I walked in this morning, I was a little anxious because now it's real, it's happening. There's people here.
Is it good like that, or do you want a little bag?
And it's just really fantastic. It's way cute.
The girls in the back have done a great job. Chili smells great. It's been really busy this morning running around getting 15 chili stations set up and ready to go. Amber is going to be heading out, letting them know that tickets are still for sale.
The staff is all in spirit. We have the Grinch here himself.
Good. How's it going today?
And everything's really fallen into place. I'm really excited.
Do you want to try some? Very good.
Is this your first stop? There you go.
I think it's marvelous. When they turned on all those lights down the street, I went, yes.
It's been a wonderful day. The chili smells good every time you walk in somewhere. Fishing shacks were wonderful.
We have gotten a lot of different customers that we've never seen before. They didn't know we were here. So I would definitely like to see this event come back.
We've seen a lot of new faces and a lot of people who have said like, oh, this is awesome. It's my first time here. There you go.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Good vibes all around.
Gotta make a ladle for chili.
Whoa! So many bubbles!
Yeah!
Best one yet!
With the street being blocked off, it was a little bit harder for some people to get here, but it did bring in a whole new clientele, a lot of families, a lot of young children, which we don't see a lot. So that's wonderful for us.
Okay, who give me 500? Let's start the auction. At 500 bid. At 500.
What a fantastic idea to bring people down here, and I've run into people I haven't seen in years. And you never know what's going to happen. We thought we had a nice design, but they were plywood shacks. They've been transformed, right?
Sold your way for 65. Thank you very much.
And look at the partnership we built with Holiday Alley and how it's worked out. I mean, the city's contributed a ton of hours and time here, putting up all the lights for the event. And when I heard last night that they had to block the street off early because there were over 4,000 people down here.
It's only money at 700, 7.5, at 7, how about 725?
Anything that you think that we could improve upon?
No.
No.
Some of my favorite things that people have written out are opening my pajamas on Christmas Eve, coming to Holiday Alley, because that's a new memory that hopefully many more generations can have. My absolute favorite one is right up here, which is writing on this wall. It's like, wow, like my friends and I did this, and now it's someone's favorite memory.
Probably the hardest thing that I've ever done is this chili judging.
We had the Heat Up the Street chili cook-off.
The winner is Beleza Mente.
Happy that Riverside Grill came in second. As a business, it's been an amazing event. Our sales actually exceeded Black Friday sales yesterday. Late in the evening, and we still have people wandering the street. So we see this as a great step forward in revitalizing downtown.
So this is the first time I've ever been in Merchants Hotel, and said I lived here all my life, so.
We didn't expect the response that we got. Every customer, 30 years ago I was here, you know, like it's just been overwhelming, so.
It's amazing. I love it.
A huge success, and I can't be more thankful, so. It'd be crazy if we didn't do this again, wouldn't we?
I think Holiday Alley opened people's eyes from that little bit of small town slumber that everybody seems to fall into. It wakes everybody up and gives them a new perspective.
This is something other communities can do. I think you have to start off by realizing it's not your municipality's job or your mayor's job or the province's job or the federal government's job to make your community better. It's your job. And what was really amazing, I don't think there was a phone call I made to a volunteer who didn't say yes immediately. I don't know if every community is like that. This community is.
That's the way a community should be. Hand in hand and doing the work together.